Welcome to Fueling Your Legacy, hosted by Samuel Knickerbocker. Each week, we expose the faulty foundational mindsets of the past and rebuild a new, stronger foundation essential in creating your legacy. We've got a lot of work to do, so let's get started. Welcome to Fuel Your Legacy. Today we have the long spoke about but never showed up guest. No, really, that was my bad. We
never showed up.
No. He did show up. He showed up. He flew all the way out to Utah to do the recording, and then we didn't record it because the electronics weren't working for us. So that's my bad. But Chad Molyneux is in the house. Actually, we're doing this call through Zoom again because the last one didn't work perfectly, but that's okay. Chad, we've been excited for him. We built up a lot of excitement for him because he is the creator of the Health and Wealth Blueprint, which provides high-achieving entrepreneurs, busy professionals with time-efficient exercises and health solutions. And that's super important for me as somebody who I'm always on the go. Like today, this is one of the 9 appointments that I had today, and I wouldn't say it's always that busy, but when it does get that busy, it's hard to focus on your health. And so what I love about what Chad's done, not just from talking to him, but also if you go check him out on Facebook, then you're going to see he's just constantly giving content out to people and adding value on how they can make their busy life and their health jive together and work together. So Chad, go ahead and introduce yourself. And again, thank you for making this work out a second time.
Absolutely, dude. So first off, I did show up. I flew out all the way there to actually be there. And yeah, so to give a little background on myself, like you said, I'm the creator of the Health and Wealth Blueprint, which is designed specifically to help the high-achieving, busy professional and entrepreneur take control of their health so that they can master their wealth and create a greater income and impact in the world. So I knew we started off the last one, or the way that we started off the last one was talking about the 3 reasons why entrepreneurs need to focus on their health and their fitness. So I'm going to preface this call with that once again, and hopefully we don't get interrupted. So the 3 reasons why. Number 1 is energy, right? So there's 2 reasons why entrepreneurs need to have more energy as a result of focusing on their health. 1 is for productivity, right? Because the number 1 thing that drives a business is productivity. It's not so much about time spent in business. It's about how productive you could be with that time. So if the more healthy you could be, the more energy you have, the more work you can get in a shorter amount of time, which means you're going to be more productive, right? And then the second part of the energy thing is the attraction. So what attracts people to watch my Facebook Lives? What attracts people to want to work with me? It's more times than not my energy. When I get on calls with people and I'm talking to people and I'm asking them the reasons why they want to work with me, they're like, dude, I just love your energy and I want to be a part of that. So as an entrepreneur, especially as an influencer and personal brand, you got to bring the energy. You got to bring whatever your authentic energy is. And the only way you're going to do that is if you're functioning at high levels, if you focus on your health and you could bring your best energy, which is going to attract your ideal client to you, which means more production and more sales are actually going to get done, right? So that's reason number 1. When entrepreneurs focus on their health, they get more energy. Reason number 2 is confidence. So the more you can be confident with your body because you've built that body, the more you're going to come across as an authority. And what's the number 1 most important thing in sales? It's coming across as an authority. It's coming across as somebody that you can actually trust. Now, I know I gave this example on the last one that we recorded. If I was a realtor and I came and I was showing you a house and I was walking around the house and I was super out of breath, I looked like crap, I was fat and I was sloppy, how am I supposed to trust that person to sell me this house if they can't even trust the most basic element of human life, which is their health? So that is another reason why it's so important for an entrepreneur to focus on their health, because we live in a personal branding world. We are looking at people, and I hate to say it, we do judge books by the cover. And I know, like, people say, oh, don't judge a book by its cover. The reason they say that is because it's human nature to actually do that. So that's why it's so important to focus on your personal brand, represent what you want to represent. If you want to show that you're dedicated, if you want to show that you trust yourself, then take care of your body. And then the last part, which is most relevant to your podcast here, Sam, is productive longevity. The number 1 goal of an entrepreneur is to create their greatest income and create their greatest impact in the world, aka legacy. The only way that you're going to build a long-lasting legacy is that, one, if you live a long time, and then two, if you could be productive for the same amount of time that you're living, if you're living that long time. So if our energy starts to fall off, if our productivity starts to fall off, then we can't create that greatest income and impact in the world if we neglect our health and we're dead at the age of 50 or 40 instead of being alive, prosperous at the age of 60 like Grant Cardone, right? Because that guy, he's 60 years old. A lot of people don't know that. He's ripped. He looks like he's freaking 40. He looks like even he could be 30, and he's high energy and he's still producing at high volumes. And he is living exactly what I like to call productive longevity. So once again, those are the three reasons: energy, confidence, and productive longevity. I know that was a long-winded answer, but let's freaking go.
No, that's awesome though. I think that is absolutely true. I mean, we, as you mentioned, we recorded this a few days ago, and this was like, man, how do I accomplish that? What are some simple things that I can do? And drinking more water was one of the things that we came up with on the last one that I could improve on. And I've improved on it. I've drank about twice as much water as I normally drink, which is not that much, but I'm getting used to drinking more water, and it definitely has given me more energy. And I shifted my sleep schedule a little bit as well, so that I could make sure that I'm in the gym more frequently. My excuse for not going to the gym earlier was my baby. I have to take care of my baby, but it was just an excuse because really my wife takes care of my baby, or she was. But now I'm going to take care of my baby in the middle of the night, and it's like the perfect alarm clock because you can't push snooze on a baby. Like, you have to take care of it, and to take care of it, you have to wake up and be coherent enough to actually take care of the baby. And so those are some things that I changed just from the short amount of time that we talked over the last few days, things that I've changed already and that I've been able to see it in myself and give me way more energy, giving me the energy to really perform today and help all of my clients that I've been meeting with. So just incredible. And thank you for bringing those up.
Anytime, man. Can we break some of those down?
Yeah, go for it.
I would love to. So let's start with the water. So the reason that I told you last time that water was so important is because the first signs of dehydration is lack of mental clarity and lack of energy. And we just talked about the importance of having energy, but also having that mental clarity, right? Because if we're an entrepreneur and we own a business, we need to be making decisions all day long. One wrong decision that you make could be maybe the downfall of your business, maybe making one less buck today, maybe hiring the wrong employee. We need to be making decisions at all freaking day. And if we don't have that mental clarity because we're dehydrated, then like I said, you could be making the wrong decisions in your business, which is going to only drive the productivity of your business down. Now, the second thing that you mentioned was sleep. And this is something that I've been seeing and you've been seeing too in the entrepreneur world. It's always go, 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 go. The more you hustle, the more you make, which to an extent is true. But there's also a downside to that, right? Because if you start neglecting your sleep in service for more work, like you're getting less than 6 hours of sleep every single night, then productivity is going to go down. And when you are spending time doing all the hustling that you say you're doing, you're not really getting the most bang for your buck because you're tired, you're on your 5th cup of coffee, and you're even not motivated because when we mess up our sleep, a lot of our hormones get messed up that are associated with the positive feelings. You're going to bring more negativity into your life, and you're just going to overall feel, and excuse my French, you're going to feel like shit, which means that you're also going to perform like shit too. So water, sleep. Last thing that you broke down was the excuse of not enough time. So I know I said this on the last one that we recorded, but it's not that you don't have the time to work out. It's that you don't have the right strategy that matches your busy schedule. So right now in the Health and Well Blueprint, our most popular time frame, because the way that we structure our workout programs is all based upon how much time the entrepreneur has to give. So we have options for 5 to 10 minute workouts, 15 to 25 minute workouts, 30 to 45, 45 to 60, depending on the time that you can give. Our most popular time frame right now is that 15 to 25 minute window, which is a workout that they do inside of their house for 15 to 25 minutes, 5 times a week. That's 75 minutes out of 168 hours in a week. So everybody has 75 minutes to give. They have 15 minutes to give. And if they don't have 15 minutes to give every day, they certainly have 5. And I know the example I gave on the last one was we could right now both spend 5 minutes doing 5 minutes of burpees, just setting a timer for 5 minutes, click and go, doing 5 minutes straight of burpees. And then literally we would feel like we did an hour-long workout within 5 minutes. And it simply just comes down to watching one less YouTube video, watching one less stupid TV show, and just doing a 15 to 25-minute workout 5 times a week. And oh yeah, sorry. One more thing I wanted to mention on that is because people would probably say, well, how does 15 to 25 minutes get me the effectiveness that I need? And I always bring it back to, well, it's not about how long you work in your business, right? It's about what kind of work you get done within a certain amount of time in your business. It's not the amount of time, it's more the productivity. Well, the same thing is true in fitness. It's not the amount of time you spend in the gym, because you can go into the gym for an hour, take selfies, talk on your phone, maybe do a couple bicep curls, or you can spend 15 minutes in your house, focus, dedicated, high intensity workout, and absolutely get more productivity and more results out of that short time spent.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to take that that concept, and I want you to get a little bit more into your story, because I know some things that nobody on this call knows, right? You go look at Chad, you watch him on his Instagram or Facebook, or he primarily is on Facebook, but you go watch him there, and then just guess his age, right? He asked me what his age was, and I totally guessed wrong. Okay. But you'd be surprised hearing the knowledge and the clarity and the actual purpose of Chad and what he's been able to accomplish and is accomplishing. You'd be surprised at his age, which we'll get to in a second. But I'm curious, Chad, what's been your journey like? How did you get into this space of health and wealth, and why are you attacking it from this angle and building this army of followers, basically, but all online rather than in person?
Yeah. So I've always, just like anyone else who's been successful, I've always thought that I was meant for more, right? And I remember you telling me that at a young age. You always knew that you were meant to lead people. For myself too, when I was 15, that's when I started watching all this motivational stuff and learning from other people. But really the reason I got into fitness was I was really only good at one thing at a young age, and that was playing lacrosse. I was not good at school. I was asked to repeat the 8th grade. I was told at a young age in kindergarten that I was not a good fit for the school district. I needed to move on to a lesser school district, as they told my parents. I was a big troublemaker. I've been held, you actually don't know this, Sam, but I've actually been held at gunpoint by cops before. I was a very big troublemaker, but I was always into self-growth. I just really, really sucked at school. And I also wasn't super confident in myself, so I would always try to seek attention by getting in trouble. So I got into health and fitness because that one good thing that I was good at was lacrosse. That was my outlet for, okay, this is what I'm good at. This is what I identified with. This is also what I could connect with my father with. Now in 8th grade, so actually let me preface that. I was the only lacrosse goalie in our town. So I got to start on all the best teams. I got to play in all the games. And in 8th grade, I got my first taste of competition. Somebody else was trying out for the position that I had my whole entire life. And I got beaten out. I was super upset. I was crying, whatnot. And then I told my dad that night, well, I need to get better. So I searched online. I found out how to get better was by getting healthy and fit, getting stronger, getting faster, getting quicker. So I asked my dad, I said, Dad, I need to get stronger, quicker, faster. Can you help me out? And then the next day, what he brought home was an old set of dumbbells from my uncle. He brought home an agility ladder, and he brought home a jump rope. So I had these 3 tools, but I didn't know what to do with them. I was like, what the heck do I do with this stuff? So I started searching online. I'm a millennial, so I had YouTube. Hence, you mentioned I was young. So I had YouTube, and I was searching up how to do the agility ladder, how to do the jump rope, how to use these dumbbells. And every day after school, I would go down into my garage, and I would just start self-teaching myself how to actually do this stuff. And I fell freaking in love with it. And to make a long story short, I got to play 2 years of college lacrosse, but I found out throughout that journey from 8th grade to the 2 years of college lacrosse that I was like, I love training for lacrosse more than I actually love playing for lacrosse. So after those 2 years of college lacrosse, I decided this isn't for me. I backed out, and then I pursued a 4-year degree in exercise science because I loved the training, obviously. And during that 4-year degree, I found a YouTube guy, my ex-girlfriend at the time, Caitlin, who was on your podcast, showed me this guy named Christian Guzman. And I was like, okay, so this guy's doing online fitness training. I could do this too. And I told myself, oh, I'm going to be able to crush this business in 3 months. Like, I'm absolutely going to smash it. Those 3 months turned into 3 years for me actually to make it to being full-time in this business. But during that time, I learned a lot about business in general. I learned a lot about myself. I've had to grow personally. I mean, I was driving an $800 car that when you turn it, it would go ring, 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 and then eventually it would turn over. Like, I didn't even know if it would actually turn over some days. There were some days where I would literally collect a bunch of water bottles. I would go to the grocery store. I would dispense these water bottles. I would get change back. And then with the change that I got back, I would hire somebody off of Fiverr, which is like, they do cheap tasks for you, to create these workout programs for me. And these workout programs that weren't selling either. And I just did a bunch of crazy stuff. But you asked why I bridged the gap between health and wealth. And the reason why I bridged the gap between health and wealth is because there's so many parallels, right? And the two things that my health journey and my entrepreneur journey have made me do is self-growth. So I thought, why not take two things that are vehicles for people to grow and bridge them together so that we could create these super entrepreneurs, these healthy, wealthy, absolute beasts that need to grow. Even as an entrepreneur, even as a high-level entrepreneur, you're always growing. So why can't I take these two avenues and just create an absolute monster?
Yeah, and you definitely have done that. So now you can reveal your age, because I think that people are going to be shocked with how old you are.
Yeah, I'm 23. Yep.
Freaking 23, and he's this knowledgeable about business. He's been through that much. He's had like he said, there's a lot of stuff in that I didn't know. But it's just crazy, the things that even when you think your life is when everybody around you, I guess I should say, when everybody around you is telling your life is not going anywhere and you're failing and all these things, those are the people who I feel like end up being the most successful. When you think of Bill Gates or Bezos or anybody, all these people, Edison, same thing. It's like these people who, like, their school teachers were saying these people are not going to amount to anything. It's those people. And what's interesting about it, when I've read their biographies, it's not like they were going out in life trying to prove these people wrong. They just like always felt like they had something bigger and better to offer, and they just chased their dreams. They just allowed themselves to just be themselves and not worry about what other people thought. And in that commitment to being themselves and becoming the best that they can be, they grow way past the normal and average individual. And now that the people who end up dropping out or whatever, they're the ones who we all take advice from now. It's kind of funny.
I can remember in 8th grade, dude. I was sitting in the class in front of everybody. I got like some question wrong, and I probably made some wise ass remark. And the teacher just goes, "You're never gonna graduate high school. You're never gonna make it in life," in front of the whole class. And I can just remember sitting there, just being like, "Holy shit!" Like it hit me hard, and I was extremely lost throughout my time in education.
Sure. I mean, and even then, even still, you still progressed through there, made it into college, and was able to play college sports. I mean, just even if your story ended there, that would be a significant story that more people need to hear and could inspire people, even if it ended there. But what you've been able to do in your business and grow your business, that's a whole nother level of growth. So tell me, like, why do you consider your business and that business growth one of your greatest successes to date?
Why do I consider it one of my greatest successes? That's a great question. I would have to say it's because and I almost feel wrong saying this, it's one of my few successes. Like I talked about with lacrosse, I was really good at lacrosse, but I never grew into my full potential. I was decent at school, but I never grew into my full potential. There was a lot of things that I did in life that were half-assed and I didn't take seriously. But the two things that I did take very seriously are training and business. So I would say that I would consider this one of my greatest successes because I actually saw it all the way through. And to give you another example with the college lacrosse thing, my senior year, my senior year, my high school lacrosse coach benched me and told me that I would never play on the team again. I rode the bench the whole year. And that really pissed me off. So my freshman year of college lacrosse, I put a poster of my high school lacrosse picture on my board, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna prove this guy wrong. But I didn't see it through. 2 years later, I was quitting lacrosse and moving on. So I'm really, really happy with this success, because I actually, like you said, I actually committed to seeing it through. There was times throughout those 3 years that I can remember sitting in the car, just swearing, screaming, feeling anxious, feeling depressed, and just being like, what am I doing? Like, I need to start another business. Like, this isn't working out for me. But I don't know whatever it is, I stuck it through, and even through the hard times, even through feeling depressed and anxious, I stuck it through, and now I'm really doing well. So yeah,
That's awesome.
That's why.
So go ahead, and obviously we've heard like the down in the dumps, the feeling of like, man, I've just got to succeed. And obviously we know you've succeeded at this point. But tell me the story of when you first felt somebody truly believed in you, and you could I
know what you're looking for.
Have that confidence.
Yeah. So throughout my journey of growing my business, I've invested in 3 business coaches. 2 have worked for me. 1 has not. So the first business coach I invested in, I was super broke at the time. So I had to sell a bunch of shit. I had to sell my bike, clothes, old lacrosse equipment, whatever I could find, just to come up with $2,000 to join the program. Now I still had to pay off the remaining $4,000 for the program. Throughout the program, I sold 1 client for $2,000. So I still owed $2,000 after that, which I picked up a side job as a waiter, was able to pay it off, but not within the time frame that he wanted me to. So after that, there was another 6-month period between that first business coach and my next business coach. So I tried to figure it out all on my own. I put ego before the results. I was like, I don't need a coach. I can figure this out on my own, which didn't happen. So then I came across who's now my current business coach, Sterling Griffin. I'll give him a shout out. What up, bro? And I invested. It was $6,000. Once again, I didn't really have the money. I picked up a side job as a waiter still. I was working those hours. All that money went to paying off that coach. And the first 3 months in that program, I didn't really make a lot of money. I wasn't really seeing a lot of success. Then during the 4th month, I had my first $10,000 month. And then from there, it's gone all the way up to now it's $42,000 contracted for the month of February so far. So investing in a coach, trading my money to get my time back has been the number one thing that I could recommend to anybody who's lost as an entrepreneur and needs direction. Just trade your money. However, get fucking resourceful, sell all your shit. Just find the money, find the right coach, invest in it, get the strategy, follow the strategy, and repeat the process.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I think that's such a powerful thing. And it's good to know, look, the first coach you hired wasn't the right coach, right? And sometimes we're going to have the doozies where we hire somebody and they're not the right fit for us and whatever. That's just sunk costs. We kind of just have to take whatever good they gave you, but move on to the next coach. Just because you had one failed coaching experience doesn't mean that you choose not to go get another coach. No, that just means that one failed experience. And what it can do for you, I mean, you would probably, at this point, you'd be willing to give even $100,000. You'd go find $100,000 to give to somebody. If they could take you from 100 to 1 million, then 100,000 is no longer that much money. And I had to have this talk with one of my clients because she really likes dancing, and she's working this job that she enjoys it. It's not like she doesn't enjoy. She's also a waitress, and it's like, look, if you go get the right coach, you're willing to pay somebody a significant amount of money, $5,000 to $10,000, whatever, to help them teach you how to turn your passion, turn what you love into a generating thing. She's been working with this coach that I referred her to for about 2 months now, maybe a month and about 2 months. And just from Instagram, and she's not doing any marketing other than just posting things and in the notes saying, hey, direct message me if you want to take lessons from me. Some dancing lessons, and she's already having clients, people reach out to her and say, hey, yeah, let's schedule something, let's get something. So now she's having to build out a system where she can actually deliver for them. But that's what can happen. If you choose to, and it goes back to the energy, right? This girl, she works from like 8 a.m. till 4, takes like 2 or 3 hours just to do whatever she wants, do her clothes, eat food, whatever. And then she'll go out and dance from like 6 or 7 till 2 or 3 in the morning, and just do it every day because she just loves dancing, right? And I was like, man, what if you could just do dancing all of the time and get rid of your waitress job? Like, it's a good job, you enjoy it, but like, you enjoy dancing way more than you enjoy being a waitress. It's not that you don't like being a waitress.
She wouldn't stay up till 2 a.m. being a waitress.
Say that again.
She wouldn't stay up till 2 a.m. being a waitress.
No, heck no. Not to enjoy it. She might if she had to, but she wouldn't enjoy it. Not the way she does dancing. And so it's just cool to see when people are really ready to follow their dreams. And that's kind of ties into my message as well with Fuel Your Legacy. I approach it from a wealth standpoint, like, hey, let's get your financial house in order so you can go fulfill your legacy. But ultimately, I'm here to help you from a financial foundation standpoint to help you build whatever legacy that is. And if it's dancing or fitness or whatever it is, how are you going to get the financial structure to make that happen? And that's where I come in. But it's just cool to see people chasing their dreams and then becoming wildly successful at it. And anybody, with the advent of YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, anybody can be successful. I'm curious, Chad, what percentage of your business comes from Facebook?
About 100% now. So there was something I wanted to mention, which was I just did the math in my head, and over the course of the last 9 months, I've spent $34,000 on coaches. So just to give you guys kind of like a little preview, I guess, on what it takes to actually, as far as your commitment to being successful. Now, to answer your question about social media, I used to be on all social media platforms, bro. I used to be on literally every single one you name, I was on it. But when I was doing that, I was not making any freaking money. But when I decided, who's my ideal client? Entrepreneurs. Where do they hang out? Facebook. Okay, now let me go as hard as I was on all platforms. On this platform, that's when I saw results. And I post, like, I'm probably annoying as fuck at this point. I post 3 to 4 times a day. I do a live a day, and I try to get as much attention as I can and in front of as many people as I can, because ultimately, if you're not getting attention and people don't know who you are, then you're not going to make any sales or make any impact at all.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I'm just curious because now they know how much you've spent. Let's say over the last 9 months, same time period, what's that turned into? I mean, if you feel comfortable sharing, what's the return on investment?
Right. So this month alone, like I said, I've contracted $42,000. The month before that, I believe it was in the 20s. The month before that was in the 18s. And then for like 4 or 5 months, it was consistently around 10. So I don't know what my projections are for this year, but it's well into the 6 figures as far as my projections.
Sure. And I think that's what I want people to hear and understand is you're going to put forth some money, but I work in the financial field, right? But there's no investment that's going to get you in 9 months, quintuple, like doubling your money 3 or 4 times, like investing in yourself. Investing in yourself has to happen. You have to start being willing to take that risk. And once you do, just trust the process. Just go into it, trust the process. And if it's not working with one coach, don't waste your time sitting around thinking that you have to stick with the coach. You may lose some money, but just keep investing, because once you do find that coach, once you do find the right coach, the return over all of the cost is still going to be so much greater than if you just stopped and went and kept being a waitress or a waiter. It's insane how much more you can gain from just investing in yourself.
Yeah, it's easy to weed out who the bad coaches are nowadays too. Just see who's the most consistent with their message, who's the most consistent posting, who's actually going to get on a call with you and have a free consultation prior to even pitching you anything. Those are kind of things that you should be looking for to see who's legit. And if somebody's just messaging you, say, buy my shit, probably not your best investment as far as a coach. So with social media, it's very easy to weed out the good and the bad.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I've seen that as I kind of dipped my toe in the coaching industry, and ultimately it's not what I'm passionate about. Like, I've had people ask me to coach them in certain areas, business development, things like that. But for me, I honestly, I like talking about money, but even more so, I like public speaking. So you're probably going to see things about me public speaking. And that's where I'm going to attract most of my people, is in a public speaking situation. But I agree, like any coach who's not going to like sit down with you and at least give you value for free, then they are probably not approaching it from the right area. And that's one thing I really love and respect about you, Chad, is you are always giving free content. Like, yes, there's tons of content behind the paywall, I'm sure, but like there's no end to how much free content you're giving, new ideas, new ways of looking at things, new exercises. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And that is what it takes to really win in this world. At this point, you have to be willing to give, and just keep giving. And the people who love and respect that you are giving, they're going to come back and they're going to be your best clients, because they recognize that you've given all of it, right? You're not holding back. The value of coaching a lot of times is simply accountability and a little bit of direction.
That's almost all of it, especially with health and fitness. I mean, for me, it's a little different because I'm working with an entrepreneur. So there is different content that we have to talk about, like how to outsource nutrition, how to systemize the whole entire health and fitness thing, how to actually travel and not fall off track. But for the most part with health and fitness, it's mostly just the community and the accountability that are the most powerful thing. At least when I ask my clients, what's the most powerful thing? That's what they tell me almost all the time.
And what's interesting is, even though it seems so simple and seems like they shouldn't have to pay for it, the fact that they're paying for it makes them more committed, makes the community more cohesive, and adds value. And so people would gladly pay that amount of money, even though they know they're basically signing up for accountability and community. They have no problem paying for it. And and that's the people you want to be working with anyways. You want to be working with people who have already accomplished that mentality, already know that what your service is, it's worth paying for. And I think you've done really good at doing that. I'm curious, what do you feel like is holding you back from the next level?
That's a good question. Did you ask me that on the last one? No. Okay, because I was going to ask you what was my answer. What's holding me back from the next level? I would say it's not knowledge. It's not accountability. It's not work ethic. I would say it's scalability as far as building out more of a team. So I just hired my first assistant coach. He does a good portion of the coaching while I work mostly on the sales and the marketing. I'm about to hire somebody to do messenger process for us. Messenger process is a way that we get organic leads from the people engaging with the content, or who are just on my friends list on Facebook. I think I just need a team, bro. I'm ready. I'm ready. I got a lot of the knowledge because I've invested in coaches. I just need the team.
That's cool. So, I mean, where do you see yourself? If you had a projection of the next 3 years, where do you see your business at in 3 years from now?
Shit, man. I don't know, dude. That's a good question. I mean, to say in 9 months that I've, like you said, like really like quadrupled it or whatever you want to call it. Like, I don't know, man, 3 years, it could be crazy. I'm hoping in the multi-millions as far as revenue goes. Plus, I would like to add on additional layers to what we do. So right now we work with the CEOs. We have a 12-week program and we have a year-long program. The year-long program is designed so that you don't just do 12 weeks of working out and then 12 weeks later, you're right back to where you're at. The year-long program is really teaching sustainability in health and fitness and making this a process that you do for the rest of your life, which I feel like I truly am one of the only coaches that actually offer a service like that. But usually what health and fitness does is they want to get you in and out of the door as fast as possible so that you're buying another product, right? It's 30-day programs, it's 60-day programs. It's these quick fix shits that aren't working. So I'm really happy that I can truly say that I feel like I'm one of the only coaches that offers that service. But another service that we want to add on, and we're in the works of adding on, is working not just with the CEO, but working with their teams, working with their sales teams, their marketing teams, working with their employees, so that we can create almost corporate wellness, but from that online perspective rather than an in-person perspective. So that's something that we're looking to dive into. Speaking is something I'm diving more into. I've had one speaking engagement so far, but looking to do more. If anyone's looking to have someone talk about health and fitness.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Silent plug. But yeah, man, I'm looking for the multi-millions. I mean, like I said, it's endless. I'm just going for it.
No, that's good. So one thing that I've noticed about your message and been consistent over the last few times we talked is that, one, the people that you're working with, but two, you're definitely focused on health and wealth. As a wealth guy, right? Somebody who does that.
Yeah.
What
am I doing? Yeah. That's something that, that's something that I'm doing. So I'm looking for a wealth coach for our year-long programs, because in the year-long program, it's actually really a mastermind where we're bridging the gap of health and wealth. And we got a lot of big money makers in there that help assist the mastermind. And then we're meeting 3 times a year. We're doing a health day where we all like either do an awesome climb or a Spartan race or whatever it may be. And then we have a wealth day where really everybody from the group is going up and speaking on what they're really good at. And then we all come together and mastermind. But yeah, dude, I'm looking for a wealth coach for that.
That's cool. Well, no, that's awesome. I know you have to get to your next meeting. I want to be respectful of your time.
I got 10 minutes.
What are there's 3 questions left. Okay. One is, and the second to the last question is just, I want you to give a plug and offer whatever you're willing to offer to people. But this last question is, what, if you're sitting across the phone or wherever you're sitting across from them, right? Cause you do a lot of remote, but somebody's like thinking about taking their health seriously, but they just haven't really taken that next step. How do you help them go over the edge? Because I know there's a lot of people listening to this call who have been sitting there thinking, I really need to get my health in order. I really need to get my health in order, but it's too much money or it's not worth the cost or whatever. They're right on that tipping point. How are you going to help them get over that tipping point and say, hey, no, look, there's no more time to waste or whatever you're going to say to them? I'm curious.
Yep. All right. I'm going to play this exercise on you. Are you ready?
Go for it. Yeah.
What are you most passionate about, Sam?
Helping people gain self-confidence, love, forgiveness, and gratitude in their life and create a legacy.
Can I challenge you by asking you a question?
Yeah.
How can you possibly do that to the fullest potential that you want to do it at if you're not healthy and fit? If you don't have the energy, if you don't have the confidence in your body, if you don't have productive longevity, if you're not around long enough, how can you expect yourself to achieve that?
I don't think I could. Like, if I can't create my own legacy, how can I teach somebody else to create theirs?
That's simply it, dude. I mean, entrepreneurs, that's the people I work with, business leaders, people that want to leave a legacy, people that want to create their greatest income. If you think that you can actually do that and still handicap yourself by not working on your health and fitness, then you're lost. Then you're not on the right path. You have to focus on yourself, because the more you focus on yourself, going back to how I've made success for myself, is I've focused on myself. I've read the books. I listen to the books. I go to the speakers. I listen to all this crap. I work on my own health and fitness. I better myself, because when you learn and you drop that L, then you get to earn. So if you're not focusing on yourself, if you're not bettering yourself in your health and fitness and your mindset, you can't expect to be your best self. And that's what I would say. I would challenge somebody to think about what are they most passionate about, and then ask themselves the same question I ask you. How can I possibly be my best self in that area of my life if I'm not focusing on my health and fitness, if I'm not healthy and fit, if I don't have the energy, if I don't have the confidence, if I'm not around long enough to make that thing come to fruition?
No, absolutely. And I think that that's super powerful right now. You don't know, maybe I've told you this, but the main listenership of this podcast right now is actually mothers and like women who are
perfect
at home and sometimes stay at home dads, but like same thing applies. How could you possibly believe that you're going to do your best work as influencing and raising your family if you can't actually be there mentally and emotionally and physically there yourself? And if you're not around long enough to make sure that legacy persists onto the great grandchildren or whatever, then exactly. I mean, you're just kidding yourself. You're lost thinking that that's going to happen if you're not preparing for it.
Yeah. Here's a good one for mothers. Something that, because I used to work with a lot of mothers when I was an in-person trainer, a lot of times they believe that them going to the gym is taking time away from their kids, that they could be better serving their kids. But I would argue taking time to yourself to go to the gym means that when you come back from the gym, you're going to feel a lot less stressed. You're going to feel a lot more happy, which means that you're actually going to give more to your kids rather than you just working all day and then seeing the kids and then being tired, grouchy, and not showing up as your best self to like you said, serve the kids, teach your kids, help them become their best selves. So I would argue and challenge mothers to take at least 15 to 25 minutes a day to help themselves so that they can come back and help the rest of their family.
Yeah, no, thank you for that. And so how do people find you? What links should they go to? And what would they expect if they went and got on a call from you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll give you a link that it goes to a landing page where I have like a 15 to 25 minute video where I talk about the three things that you need in order to transform your body and health. on that page, there's also pictures of my clients and whatnot. And then from there, if you click, it's going to ask you to fill out your name, your email, your number. Then you'll be taken to a survey that asks you about your health and fitness goals and whatnot. And then after that, it'll take you to a scheduling app where you can book a call with me, a 30-minute call with me. Literally no selling on that call. You don't need to bring any form of payment. It's just you and I. We talk about your health goals. We talk about your challenges, your needs, and basically it's just a free consultation for health and fitness. So I'll give you that link. And better yet, I may just give you the scheduling link so they can bypass all the bullshit and just schedule a call if that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
Other than that,
give me both. Just give me both.
I'll give you both. And then other than that, I'll give you my Facebook profile. You can shoot me a friend request or send me a message just saying that you're coming from the Knickerbockers podcast. I'm just messing with you. And yeah, bro, those are just really the two links. I can also give you my email if you want, if people want to email me. But Facebook's the best way to go about it.
Okay, cool. And so this is the last question. This is really the culmination of this podcast and really why I do this whole thing, because I think I want to help people and support people in any way I can, and I want to support them in achieving the answer to this question. And so as you're listening to this, think, okay, what would be my answer to that question? And if you don't have an answer to that question, head over to samknickerbocker.com. If you do have an answer to that question, but you're just not sure exactly how to achieve it, head over to samknickerbocker.com. And if you just want to keep watching like a fly on the wall, keep listening to the podcast. You can like and subscribe to it. And then also you can go on Facebook. I share a lot of things on Facebook and Instagram of just thoughts that are going on in my head and how we can create the habits, mindsets, and behaviors of a legacy that's really going to last. So here's the last question for Chad, though. How do you want to be remembered, and what's your legacy? So now we've got to think about 3 or 4 generations. Your great-great-grandchildren are now talking about you, telling their friends about you. What do you want them to be saying?
Really simple. So I remember this question from the last one. My legacy, what I want people to be, what I want to be remembered for is I want to be an example of self-growth. I want to be an example, a catalyst to show people to live and lead a life of self-growth so that they could better serve the other people in their lives as well. And I'm going to expand a little bit upon this because last night on my flight home from Salt Lake City, where you live, or Utah, where you live, rather, I was watching Bohemian Rhapsody, which is that new movie about Freddie Mercury. And just seeing his story really inspired me because he went from nothing, became this big guy. His head blew up as far as like he got a big ego. He got into drugs, actually left Queen, and then he went back to Queen because he realized what he was doing was wrong, and he just got back into his legacy saying that I'm a performer. I want to perform with you guys. I have AIDS. I'm going to die soon, but I want to leave this legacy of being that performer. And it inspired me because I was like, holy shit, like his story right now is inspiring me. I want my life to be a story that represents and inspires others to lead a life of self-growth as well.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I mentioned this last time. I'm going to mention it again. If we go back to the very beginning of this podcast, we asked, and he brought up what are the 3 things that why it's important for health. And it was energy, confidence, and productivity. And then he broke those down even more. Chad is somebody who knows his message. He's on point. He knows what he's going for, and he's specific about it. It's not like he's bouncing around with a bunch of different ideas. He's specific about what he's chasing, and he knows exactly what he wants. And that is what's important about it. But when it comes down to how he wants to be remembered and his legacy, I actually had him fill out a form. Let's see the date on this. Back the beginning of December. Tuesday in December 11th, right? That's when he filled out this form. And if I read word for word what he said about what he wants his legacy to be, he said, I want to live a life of passion, enthusiasm, and self-growth. My mission is to inspire others to do the same. That's incredible that I can ask him that. He didn't remember exactly what that was. But he says almost verbatim because he knows his purpose. He knows what he's trying to achieve. And what's important about that for you who's listening is if you choose to work with Chad, you know exactly what he's there to help you accomplish. And you know that you can trust that that's every part of his being, and that's what he's purely focused on. And so if you relate to that message and you also want to find out how to take what your gift is and turn that into a mission to inspire others to follow their dream, then you've got the right guy here to coach you. And I think that's just, I can't say enough good things about this kid. He's just great, and he's funny, happy all the time. He does have a ton of energy. And honestly, I'm still blown away the fact that he's 13. Not 13, 23. Could be 13.
That would be hilarious.
That would be awesome, right? It's
Yeah.
possible. No, he's 23 though, and I can't say enough great things about him. So definitely subscribe to the podcast here and go follow Chad. There's going to be links to all of the things that he mentioned here, a link to just book a 30-minute call if you want to go and learn more about some things and find out why it's all important. Then he'll have a link there. He'll have his email, just about every way to reach out to him and help you get in touch with greatness here.
Fire up.
And we're gonna go there, but take a screenshot, tag either Chad or I in it, and we'll give you a shout out. If you would like, direct message me, Sam Knickerbocker, at either on Instagram or on Facebook. After you give a little shout out, then tell me a little bit about what you do, and I'd love to give you a shout out and give you a little 20-30 second commercial here on the podcast, help you grow your business as you help me grow mine. So thanks much, and that is it for Fuel Your Legacy. Catch us next time.
Thank you, guys. Peace out.
Thanks for joining us today. If what you heard resonated with you, please like, comment, and share on social media. Tag me so I can give you a shout out on the next episode. And thanks to all those who have left a review. It helps spread the message of what it really takes to build a legacy that lasts. Catch you next time on Fueling Your Legacy.